आज हम एक ऐसे विजनरी के साथ बात करने वाले हैं जो यंग हैं और जिनके आइडियाज़ फ्रेश हैं, जिन्होंने इन्वेस्टिंग को लेकर भारतीयों का नज़रिया बदल दिया और ट्रेडिंग को आसान और किफ़ायती बना दिया। हम बात कर रहे हैं नितिन कामत की, ज़ेरोधा के फाउंडर और सीईओ। नितिन की कहानी सिर्फ एक सक्सेसफुल एंटरप्रेन्योर की जर्नी नहीं है, बल्कि ये जर्नी है ट्रांसफॉर्मेशन की। नितिन ने बिज़नेस के साथ साथ कम्युनिकेशन की अहमियत को समझा और समझाया, नए भारत की नब्ज़ पकड़ी, ज़ीरो ब्रोकरेज और फिक्स्ड फ़ी के ज़रिए पूरे लैंडस्केप को डिसरप्ट किया। आज हम उनसे जानेंगे कि मार्केट कैसे बदल रहे हैं, ट्रेडिंग और इन्वेस्टिंग के पैटर्न में क्या बदलाव आए हैं और नए इन्वेस्टर्स के लिए क्या मौके और रिस्क हैं। तो तैयार हो जाइए एक बेहद दिलचस्प और इंस्पायरिंग बातचीत के लिए। नितिन जी, बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया आज हमारे साथ जुड़ने के लिए। थैंक यू सो मच। ओरिजिनल प्लान था कि मैं बेंगलोर आऊँ और आपसे बात करूँ, लेकिन शायद ये पॉसिबल नहीं हुआ, लेकिन फिर भी आज हमारे साथ शो में जुड़ने के लिए आपका बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया।
Yeah, I mean, don't mind, I'll try to speak in English as much as possible.
Not a problem.
And wherever, I can speak in Hindi, I'll speak.
Yeah.
No, I mean, pleasure being on the show. So.
Absolutely. ज़ीरोधा के बारे में कुछ नंबर्स मैं आपको बताता हूँ। 2020 में वो 13 लाख क्लाइंट्स, FY23 तक 54 लाख पर पहुँच गया और अब ये नंबर 1 करोड़ से ऊपर है। FY24 का रेवेन्यू 9,400 करोड़, प्रॉफिट 5,500 करोड़, जबकि FY23 में रेवेन्यू ही 4,700 करोड़ था। एक बूटस्ट्रैप्ड कंपनी जिसने कोई फंडिंग नहीं जुटाई और एक लैंडस्केप पूरा चेंज कर दिया। नितिन, जो भारतीय बाज़ारों में चेंजेस हुए हैं, यू हैव बीन एट द फोर फ्रंट ऑफ दैट। आई थिंक सबसे ज़्यादा आपने ही इन चीज़ों को देखा है। वी हैव सीन द ग्रोथ ऑफ ज़ीरोधा, वी हैव सीन द ग्रोथ ऑफ इंडियन मार्केट अलॉन्ग विद दैट। आपके हिसाब से क्या बदला है 2020 के बाद से अब तक? जो हमने ग्रोथ देखी है उसमें क्या मेन फैक्टर्स रहे हैं?
I mean, markets में I mean, markets have grown so much that it's what you could have seen in probably 10-15 years. The growth in 10-15 years, it's probably fast forwarded right now. And basically what happened with COVID is people had free time, people had money they were not spending anywhere. And they were kind of finding avenues to invest, do something with their money. And alongside that, you had like the biggest bull market run in the markets as well. All put together, it probably was the biggest, biggest run in terms of participation, in terms of everything in the last 4-5 years.
नितिन, एक चीज़ जो आपके साथ मैंने देखी है, देयर आर फ्यू थिंग्स दैट यू डू जो लोग पूछते हैं कि शायद आर काउंटर प्रोडक्टिव टू योर बिजनेस, वार्निंग रिटेल, नजेस। कई बार आपने बात कही है कि रिटेल को केयरफुल रहने की ज़रूरत है। इवन सेबी ने भी काफ़ी स्टेप्स लिए हैं ऑप्शन एक्टिविटी को कर्ब करने के लिए। क्योंकि आपके पास सारा डेटा रहता है, जो F&O में रिटेल के लॉसेस हो रहे हैं, क्या उस पर थोड़ा इम्पैक्ट पड़ा है सेबी के इन फैसलों का? हैज़ इट कम डाउन और इज स्टिल द फैक्ट कि रिटेल इज स्टिल मेकिंग लॉसेस इन F&O?
The thing is, from the last October, the activity in options market is significantly down. So it's come down significantly. And I mean, you have to assume that as and when lesser number of trades, then lesser the losses as well. So I would say it's come down slightly. So both in terms of market activity, market participation, as well as the corresponding losses. Because in the market, the thing is, in F&O especially, or to be more honest, mostly in options, because in futures what we're seeing is half of our clients are making money, half are losing money. In options, it essentially gets skewed. especially with option buyers, because option buyers are looking at like a really quick way of making money, and that's not really possible in the markets. And that's why so many people lose money in the options market. So yeah, I mean, I would say it is. I mean, coming back to your question, I would say it's significantly lower. The options trading volumes and corresponding option losses as well.
Also, क्या डिलीवरी की तरफ थोड़ा ट्रेंड बढ़ा है? हैव यू सीन मोर वॉल्यूम्स मूव टुवर्ड्स द डिलीवरी साइड ऑफ द मार्केट, और वहाँ पर किस तरीके का ट्रेंड रहा है रिटेल के लिए?
No, markets, the thing was the last 6 months is probably too short term a trend to call, because the activity was lower, and, I mean, given the bear market kind of thing we had running, the activity has been quite low even in the cash market. So, not really the right time, to probably, we can kind of spot more of a trend in the next 1 year or so.
To your mind, नितिन, आगे जाके किस तरीके के ट्रेंड बदल सकते हैं? 1 साल जैसा आपने बोला, यहाँ से given the fact कि markets been so dominated by retail flows, what kind of changes do you see next 1 year?
I mean, it depends. See, the thing is, retail activity is kind of like a mirror image of the market, performance as such. So the last 4 or 5 years, the market's been in a bull run. Hence, the activity has picked up significantly. So this is like the first time that market is kind of subjected to like a bear market of sorts. And so it depends. It depends next 6 months if markets are doing, now that we had a bounce back, if this bounce back continues, then definitely the activity will be back. If it doesn't, then activity will not be there. So it's we are really a high beta company as such. So it is we essentially have to figure out the market behavior in this. So.
नितिन, एक चीज़ और मैं आपसे पूछना चाह रहा था. जब मैंने अपने करियर की शुरुआत की थी 2003-4 में, स्टॉक मार्केट वाज एसेंशियली अबाउट बिग सिटीज़. मैक्सिमम वॉल्यूम्स वुड कम फ्रॉम मुंबई, गुजरात, अहमदाबाद, सम फ्रॉम कोलकाता एंड दिल्ली. यू हैव ऑल द डेटा नाउ. क्या चेंजेस आपने देखे हैं पिछले 3-4 साल में? इज़ इट बिकम मोर डाइवर्स नाउ, मोर स्मॉलर सिटीज़ पार्टिसिपेटिंग, or is it still lion's share with Mumbai, Ahmedabad and rest with others? क्या आपने changes देखे हैं?
No, I mean, the thing is, if you look at the customers by address proofs, then it's definitely diversified. Address proof in the sense, say Aadhaar pe, whatever is updated as address, then you can see that customers are all across the country. But if you were to see it based on login IPs, I mean, essentially from where the trading activity is taking place, then that seems more concentrated. So, but still, it's still diversified significantly from back in 2016-17. But not as much as the data suggests, So.
Absolutely. अच्छा, Nithin, you were the pioneer obviously in zero cost broking. आपने पूरा एक माहौल बदल दिया, और आपका कॉन्सेप्ट भी काफ़ी इंटरेस्टिंग था. ज़ीरो और रोधा, मतलब उसको मिलाकर. उसके बाद हमने काफ़ी नए कॉम्पिटिटर्स देखे. वो 20 रुपए की ब्रोकरेज जो आपने स्टार्ट की थी, मैनी पीपल फॉलोड दैट. नाउ वी हैव सीन कपल ऑफ पीपल फाइंड सक्सेस इन दैट, लाइक ग्रो. सो एट ज़ीरोधा, डू यू थिंक आप फुल्ली इक्विप्ड हैं कंपटीशन को झेलने के लिए अगले कुछ सालों में, बिकॉज कंपटीशन माइट हीट अप इवन मोर?
Yeah, I mean, in today's world, there is no status quo, right? As in, everyone can potentially get disrupted, and that's what keeps us up and awake. But one thing is, as and when you get really big, you can't really change as fast as we could, say in 2015 or 16. But that said, we constantly keep updating our products and offerings, and I think the uniqueness about our business is the philosophy with which we run. I mean, like you were saying, we have these nudges which dissuade people from trading, and I don't think there are many brokers who can take that chances. And for example, we don't send out any kind of spam. Essentially, most of competitors send out 5 to 10 notifications a day on your mobile app. We send maybe once or twice a month. So that's all. Philosophically, we are kind of thinking of this very differently, and we're thinking of the business really long term, and then every change, etc., whatever fits into the long term vision of ours is what what we'll work on. So yeah, so I think I mean, Grow, Angel, etc. I mean, all of them are competition today. So.
Totally. नितिन, एक चीज़ आपने हमेशा मेंटेन की है कि आपसे और निखिल से मेरी जब बात हुई है कि देयर इज़ नो प्लान ऑफ लिस्टिंग. ऑब्वियसली यू डोंट नीड टू लिस्ट, यू डोंट नीड मनी, यू आर जनरेटिंग कैश एवरी ईयर. लेकिन एक सिर्फ बहुत लोगों का ये मानना है कि कंसिडरिंग ज़ेरोधा इज़ द बेंचमार्क ऑफ सक्सेसफुल बूटस्ट्रैप्ड यूनिकॉर्न्स, आगे जाकर आप कभी सोचेंगे लिस्टिंग के बारे में? वुड यू एवर प्लान एन IPO?
Yeah, I mean, the thing is, if you don't require the money, why list? So that's the question, and we are already highly regulated, so we don't want to be subjected to even more. And the thing is, what I was saying earlier was, जो philosophy with which we run the business, it's very hard to do it as a listed company. We're a listed company, you have to have 3-month targets, 6-month targets, and then if you don't meet it, then you have to face correction. So we don't. I mean, typically the business today work at 5 years, 10 years as a target for any kind of metric, and no one in the business, for example, has any revenue target. I don't know if we can stick to all this stance, if we were a listed company. But if say regulators were to come and say you need to be listed, and then we'll definitely IPO as such, but otherwise no plans as of now.
आपके एम्प्लॉयज़ नहीं चाहते कि आप लिस्ट हो, थोड़ा ESOPs मिलें, they can also be part of that wealth journey?
No, employees, I mean, we are doing the ESOP buyback every year, and of course, I mean, what market valuations and our valuation might be different, but we're doing ESOP buyback. Every employee can exit it at any point of time, So.
बट दैट्स बिकॉज यू आर वेरी कंजर्वेटिव नितिन. अगर आप मार्केट में आएंगे तो जो आपने अपने लिए वैल्यू लगा रखी है उसका शायद मार्केट आपको 5 गुना भी दे दे. तो इसके लिए फिर मैं पूछ रहा था आपसे सवाल.
नहीं I don't think 5 times. I mean, possibly 2 times, as in 1 to 2 times, as in and the reason we discount is because it is it's basically it's a, like in the market right now, not right now, but say last year, you bull market mein your valuations get stretched, and bear market mein your valuation goes against the trend by X, so So yeah, so you know, you need to balance it somehow, you know. So.
नितिन, एक पिछले 6 महीने में जो एक और डिबेट रही है वो है वीकली एक्सपायरीज को लेकर, एक्सचेंजेस के बीच में कंपटीशन। वेयर डू यू स्टैंड? बिकॉज आपके प्लेटफॉर्म पे बीएससी के ऑप्शंस में भी काफ़ी लिक्विडिटी है, एनएससी के ऑप्शंस में भी। वेयर डू यू स्टैंड ऑन दिस होल थिंग? और आपने एमएससीआई में भी पैसा डाला है, क्या एक और एक्सचेंज को भी रिवाइव होने की तैयारी हो रही है यहाँ पर? यू नो, यू हैव पुट मनी, ग्रो हैज़ पुट मनी इन एमएससीआई, व्हाट्स दैट अबाउट?
No, I mean, the idea with putting money behind MSCI, the bunch of brokers have come in together and put it. And the idea is that, you know, you need an alternate venue, as in US has something like 18 exchanges. And, you know, India needs to have more exchanges, and that's really the objective behind putting money behind the exchange. And and about weekly expiry and competition between the exchanges, I mean, I can't really comment on this, you know.
Yeah. No, but do you think, to your mind, it's a good idea to have just one weekly expiry per exchange? Just your view.
Yeah, I think, yeah. And personally, I feel that's I kind of think one per week is more than enough in this.
Is more than enough. अब ज़ीरोधा को लेकर आगे क्या प्लान है? नितिन, आपने एक ज़ीरोधा जो वर्सिटी है उस पर काफ़ी काम किया, इन्वेस्टर एजुकेशन, फ्री है वो प्लेटफॉर्म। क्या इस दिशा में थोड़ा और काम होगा? विल यू लुक टू डू मोर सच इनिशिएटिव्स लाइक इन्वेस्टर एजुकेशन एटसेट्रा, मोर फिलैंथ्रोपी?
I mean, of course, then. Abhi Varsity, you know, we have taken, you know, this thing called Varsity Live, which is like a live education thing. And Varsity apna, you know, we have YouTube channel, etc. So through which also we are trying to educate. And as Zerodha, you know, I mean, we are doing a bunch of other things like, abhi, you know, NBFC help, na? So we kind of give out loan against securities. We are doing insurance through Ditto. We are doing AMC through with small case, like that, you know. So bunch of startups ke saath, you know, we have a close bonding of sorts, you know. So and we're trying to build the business that way, you know. So.
अच्छा नितिन, आपकी लाइफ में फिलॉसफी क्या है? मुझे याद है आपने एक बार ट्वीट किया था जब मैंने ज़ीरोधा की वैल्यूएशंस पर एक ट्वीट डाला था कि बिजनेसेस लाइक योर्स आर जस्ट वन रेगुलेशन अवे फ्रॉम देयर प्रॉफिट लिटरली गेटिंग हाफ्ड. सो like, do you sleep with this knowledge that anything can change and my business can turn upside down?
I mean, absolutely. I mean, in a regulated business, I think the biggest risk on the business is the regulations itself. And definitely, you know, and that's the reason, you know, it's probably not fair for us to be listed, you know. So because you know, you know, no, I mean, you know, for example, like this options trading thing that's weekly that's been removed has caused a drawdown of like 35-40% in the revenues. And it was all out of the blue, you know, the regulation that came in. So like that, you know, so any regulation can significantly hurt the business. And the idea with not listing is also that maybe, you know, we'll go attempt building you know, diversity in the business, diversification in terms of insurance, in terms of you know, loans, in terms of you know, AMC, etc. So and essentially, possibly, hopefully, at the end of it, we'll have a diversified business, and possibly at that time we would think of listing. You know, so.
Yeah, that's interesting. 30 to 40% you said. तो क्या ये माने कि जो current year could be a bit of a peak year for you, at least in the foreseeable future, in terms of earnings?
Yeah, I mean, not the current year, the last year. You know,
Yes, the last
previous
year. Yes, the last year.
The current year, yeah. So this year would be will significantly be lesser than the last year, and I think the last year revenue etc. would definitely be peak for some time to come.
Okay, thanks for being so candid. अच्छा, आखिरी सवाल, आप अपनी फिटनेस पे भी काफ़ी ध्यान देते हैं, तो कितना समय निकालते हैं आप फिटनेस के लिए?
I think 1 to 2 hours in the morning. I get up quite early, and get my workout. And generally, the idea with fitness is to keep moving and then be conscious about what you eat. So, conscious about what I eat, I'm more conscious recently, in the last 1-2 years. So, but yeah. So.
Easier said than done, Nithin, I can say from थोड़ा पर्सनल एक्सपीरियंस. लेकिन बहुत बहुत शुक्रिया आज हमारे साथ जुड़ने के लिए और हमसे बात करने के लिए, और आपको इस शानदार जर्नी के लिए बहुत बहुत मुबारक, और आगे आने वाली जर्नी के लिए ऑल द बेस्ट.
Thanks Anuj.
Thank you.